am live. I am live. Hit the thumbs up button. Man, I don't know why my computer doesn't play. I don't know why it doesn't play the video. We gotta turn on Do Not Disturb. Because I know people will call me. I'm still getting set up.
And fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my
Morning, Josh. I'm just getting started here. Turn this on. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm gonna pin that up. Do 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 do. We're gonna pin that one. Pin message. Okay. And then. Hey, I've only had the countdown on for, what, 3 minutes? Happy payday. Payday. I don't know about you, but there ain't no payday when you got Apple as your main portfolio player. Good God. Oh, come on. I've got to get a Finder window open because I've got to clean up my desktop a little with some of my downloads from yesterday. I am a minimalist who keeps nothing. I don't keep copies of this show. Nothing. It's probably not good, the downloads portion. I think I deleted something by accident. For those of you who have, you know what? Let's see. Let's use, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Some of you still work. I know. I don't know if I used to get paid on Thursday or Friday. I forget. These days I get paid once a month. Once a month I get my affiliate revenue from all the partners from essentially Savvy Trader, Seeking Alpha, and Trendspider. And then I get my the paid newsletter subscribers. Morning, Chris. I get that on a regular basis, like daily, I think. I don't know. I mean, there's hundreds of paid subscribers, so. Did she greet you? Yeah. Hey, if you want to go play with Gracie, feel free to take the key. Okay. We have a brand new kitten across the street 6 weeks old, and the folks work for Delta, so we've been pet sitting. This is what's funny is I did this yesterday, and you know, some people may think that I don't do this a lot. I don't trade on it. I get burned out after this podcast. But this is what's funny is this one, it's a 212 million. It's not in my wheelhouse. But KINS, you throw that into a 60. Let's see if that works on the 65 man. I mean, look at that run. Let's throw it into 65 minute. But I would literally during my trading days just come up with some type of trading strategy that might work. Let's see if this one's on a 1 hour that I have. It has you out. So that one does really well though. This strategy, it was made for Boyle, but it's on a 1 hour candle. It works pretty well. Let's see, 30 minute. No, that one doesn't work. Let's look at the 1040, the 10 and the 40 day. Somebody had recommended that to me sometime. No, it doesn't work on that one. This is the 50 day. So when it's trading under, just when it crosses the 50 day. Wow. But that's only 2 positions. Probably not a great one there. Let's see. This is on the 5 minute candle. And it got you in. Ooh, you got a nice gap up there. Bollinger Band strategy. Let's see if this one works. Doesn't really work. RSI strategy, where the RSI, we're looking for oversold and undersold. Nah. This is a weekly. This one over 5.7 years makes you 326%, but you're still in this. You bought this at $1.59, so it's probably not realistic on that one. This is the 821. This one's pretty good on this, to be honest. Over 4 years, it makes you 141%, but you only win 33% of the time. Not great. Let's look at a MACD strategy. This one's pretty good. But over 12 months, 9 strategies. That's not enough for me. Let's look at the golden cross here. It does well, but I thought I had do not disturb on it. I guess I do. Morning, Donnie. VWAP strategy. Let's see if this one runs well. That one doesn't really do well. Stock battle, the 1 hour strategy. Let's see if this one runs pretty well. This one does. Over the last 62 days on KINS, you win 60% of the time. 14.8% versus a 1.3% buy and hold. So this, and it just got you in. You know what? I'm going to share this one too. Let's see. Share strategy. Update. Yeah. We'll bonus. Bonus. Stock in Seeking Alpha and found a strategy 1 hour time frame that works with an entry at 1543. Close yesterday. It wins of the time. Let's do this. This is share strategy. Update. And we're going to do that. Boom. We're going to share that. That's pretty good. Okay. I like that one. And by the way, if you want the strategy here, I mean, I should make you sign up for the newsletter, but go and have fun. Import it into your Trendspider. KINS. I don't know that I necessarily love this one, but I mean, the setup's nice, right? On the daily, you're right, kind of just under the 50-day. And it has, passed, let's see, since December. Kind of love this area and this zone. So, it's an interesting one. Yeah. What morning, Scott and Donnie. Yeah. But that's essentially, if I were using this, I mean, QQQ, it doesn't work really well on QQQ, but again, in that area, that zone area wins 60% of the time. So it seems pretty, anyone else get into gold like I did? I need to set up an alert. Let's set up an alert. Hold on. I'm going to check my position on this because I think I bought this one at 43. This is Newmont, by the way, NEM. They reported earnings. It dipped down. The earnings were perfectly fine. It's a gold miner. And I liked it. And so I bought a bunch. Let's see. NEM. I'm up 3% on this. So my average purchase price was $46.86. So I didn't get in at this 43. And the reason I didn't get at that 43, it makes sense. Yeah. I bought it on the way. I think I bought it. Yeah, I must have bought it up here right before their earnings, and it dipped down, and I didn't add to it. Shit, I probably should have set that up, but not a great trade. Ooh, look, Brooklyn Betting is the advertisement I just got on while I'm watching myself on YouTube. I have their bed. It's fantastic. I used to get messages from them. Affiliate revenue from them. So, let's see. Yeah. Newmont. I thought I had a bigger gain than that. I thought I had added at that 47. We're going to set up a alert. Alert me next time this happens. Create alert. There we go. Insane easily. I want to know when it tells me to sell. So, I mean, I got questioned yesterday. I got a letter from somebody who tried out the 2-week trial on Trendspider. And they said, do you really use that 4-hour? Yeah, I don't understand how you could use this program, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, douchebag. Chris is one in here who also uses Trendspider, who is retired and doing very, very well. Retired early. Do you think you could go back to not using Trendspider? I mean, I think I could make money not using Trendspider, but would I feel comfortable? That's the better question is, would you feel comfortable using another program? Meaning like you'd have to set up your whole system again. Crypto microchip? What's crypto microchip? Yeah. I mean, that's what I tell people. People don't understand how much I use this and how, I was on the phone yesterday with Nader from Trendspider, and he said Shai Bular has worked with Trendspider in the past and he's becoming an affiliate. And so he said, yeah, Shy wants to become an affiliate, but he's got a day job. And so I texted Shy. I said, sucker. But he's in his 30s and starting a family. So yeah, and that's, I told Dan, the CEO of Trendspider, I have sent this message many a time to Dan. I don't care if you start charging me and take away my affiliate program. I'm gonna continue to pay. I mean, that's essentially it. I'm a paying customer for life. So okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna use this stock battle 1 hour strategy that I have to trade some things. We are going to look at Trump's Bitcoin promises. He's 5 of 8, and there's a couple that are left. Could they, pop it? I don't know. I mean, that's an analyst one. NVIDIA, more positive. I'll tell you my strategy with NVIDIA. Robotics continues to be, robotics is huge. And this is a video of Boston Dynamics robot putting together a freaking car. This one is the 200-day. Well, no, that's Dell's new lead salesperson, software salesperson. If you're not buying Dell, we'll take a look at Dell's stock to see, is it a buy? The 200-day is super important if you didn't know from a technical standpoint. There's a scan to tell you which ones are bouncing off their 200-day. Commodity roundup. I've said oil was up 10% yesterday. Boeing, we're going to take a look at Boeing because that one seems to be bouncing back. Broadcom, I think that, it's NVIDIA day, so it is what it is. This is two possible scenarios for SPY. I agree with it. It is what it is, but this is March Madness, conquer fear, and select 10 buy the dip stocks. I'll give you a couple of those. Stock index futures dip. We're seeing them down a little bit. And I don't know what happened since the jobs number comes out, but hey, listen, you can't go with a Fed meeting without having a tweet bring you down. And had that come down, I would have won Trendspider's contest for SPY, the closed SPY. I got within 2 points of closing SPY number yesterday. So they had a contest, and that's why you should follow Trendspider on Twitter. But that's funny. Does it work on PAL? Let me see. Let's see it 1 hour on PAL. That 1 hour strategy actually is really good, I think. Where is it? Let me see. 1 hour. There it is. It was the stock battle. I used it for the stock battle. By the way, it's based on MACD. It is based on MACD on the 1 hour. PAL, wow, it makes you over just the last 62 days. Wow, it works really well. Let's see. Wow. That's an 11% move it just got you out of. Yeah, it's definitely for those poppers where it's got a lot of volatility and stuff. I mean, even the 4 hour works on PAL. So if you want it, if you got in here at 157, I think you're going up to that 197 at 181. So let's see. Yesterday was a big one. It's down 1% today. So, hey, I'm happy that people are actually using it. And Chris, yeah, I probably need to. So Chris, I don't know if you know, Jason left Trendspider. He's out on his own now. I don't know if he's going to do something on his own, But I was talking to Nader and I said, dude, if you ever need anybody like comic relief on Trendspider, I said, I can't do what Jason did. But if there's a place where you'd like me on Trendspider, I'd be more than happy to do it. Okay, let me get started on this one. It's now 8:51. Let me hit. Yeah, Jason left. I think he's just Krutsky Trades now. Let's see. He posts pretty well. What did SPY close at? Let me see. SPY closed at 565. Tweet come out before Spot trading app. What is the spot trading app? And Jason's just, I mean, Jason's a trader at heart. He's fantastic. I really can't, I can't speak, you know, he's just one of my favorites of all time. So, one of my favorites. And I like these. Would you click for is free. Google Docs is free. ViewStats is free. ChatGPT is free. Canva is free. vidIQ is free. I like that stuff. I never, actually go through with it, but I like it. Larry. By the way, MK just said Larry in the other room F2. I think if what I'll go over the tariffs. I got some notes, Scott, on that one. So, okay, let me hit record. Good morning. It is Thursday, March 20th, the day after Jerome Powell was supposed to crash the markets, didn't crash the markets. I was going to go live yesterday during the FMOC meeting, but I was busy dethatching my lawn. So I have a postage size. When you live in Atlanta, inside the perimeter, you don't have big lots unless you're super, super wealthy. I'm not super, super well, maybe I am, but the reality is I don't live like that. I live like a middle. I have a postage size stamp, but I have very good grass. And I'm a grass geek. I've got Bermuda, so I can't kill the damn thing. But yesterday I scalped, I verticut, and then I dethatched. I walked 5.5 miles while doing this because I was picking everything up. So I was busy. I was going to go live. I was filthy. I'm still blowing out my nose, all of the dust that was there. But what Powell said, the markets loved it. I think, personally, I think you're going to be range bound. So I do think the markets loved what he said. If we look at this weekly chart, you can see, I think that now that line that's anchored by COVID on the Qs, I think you're range bound. I think that's going to be the top. The top of this one, the high, is 485. Where are we today? Right now, 478. So I think you're range bound. I think that 9-day continues to move down. What they did yesterday was they took rate hikes off the table completely. So we're not getting rate hikes. You still have 2 cuts. More than likely, you probably have more. I think you see a rally until April 2nd. I think you see some ups and downs, but I think you're range bound, and I think you're range bound within this range. So probably between 450 and 480, maybe 490, maybe even 500 on the Qs. Again, everybody makes a guess. But I think April 2nd, is a big day. We'll go over why, but here's the reaction roundup. From experts, they weigh in the Fed. The Fed maintained the Fed funds rate. It slowed the Treasury security redemption to $5 billion. So they're not getting rid of their balance sheet. They're just letting stuff roll off, but they're trying not to do new ones. It's a whole complicated process. I don't understand it. Go to Perplexity if you want. This Fed is dovish. Despite increasing inflation forecast for 2025, the Fed still predicts 2 cuts this year. So they expect inflation to go up. They expect growth to go down. That was a bad thing for the market, but taking the rate cuts off the table, in my mind, is what made you pop yesterday. There's some certainty, and this market is looking for certainty. And then what do you have? You got a tweet. The Fed would be... I've said this for weeks now. The Trump administration and Trump in general wants lower rates. It's a fight with Powell. And Powell and the Fed are data dependent. So they have to crash the economy in order to get lower rates. Trump posted the Fed would be much better cutting rates as U.S. tariffs start to transition their way into the economy. Powell has said, we don't know what's happening with the tariffs. We don't know if it's a negotiation point. We don't know. So what's happening April 2nd? Tariffs. And if it's rumored, I think it was the Washington Post posted that $3 trillion of goods that come into this country will be tariffed on April 2nd. If that's the case, expect this chart to go back down to 450 on the Qs. Expect it to go because you're going to get retaliation from other countries as well. The EU has said in the middle of April, they will impose a ton of tariffs on the U.S. So it's called a tariff war for a reason. Once one person does it, the other one does it, and it doesn't do anything other than hurt the consumer. It hurts the economies. And Trump wants lower rates. If it's going to crash the economy and get lower rates, they have told you, Scott Bessent has been out there telling you, and he's the Treasury Secretary, we don't care if it goes down. You've had 2 years of 20% gains, and they believe it's based on government spending. They want to crash the economy to get lower rates. Remember, Trump's a real estate guy. So what do stocks do today? They dip. You had a rally yesterday. They dip. That's why I think you're seeing us range bound. Again, if you take this and you look at a weekly, have we dipped enough? Look at this from July to August of last year. And then you had the catalyst of, hey, the Japan unwind trade happened in one day, and that was the bounce. April 2nd may be the bounce, but I expect tariffs to go on. I expect us to be within this range for a while. So your RSI now is down at 42. If we go and look at the S&P, let's go with VOO because I don't like to trade SPY. I like to buy VOO. Buy and hold VOO because it's got a lower expense rate. That's just it. Yeah, the 4-hour algorithm got you in at 517. Where are you trading right now? 519. Yesterday, you got to the high. The high was 524. I'm not trading this on a daily basis. But the reality of this is that you got a tweet and stocks move lower today. And that he doesn't want the market getting too euphoric. He wants to either negotiate tariffs, and nobody seems to be negotiating. They're just loading on more tariffs. That's all they're doing. So they're calling his bluff. So again, stock rallies future as a Fed-driven rally fades. Said the Fed should cut interest rates as tariffs start to ease into the economy. And the Fed said, we're going to have inflation. So no matter what Fox News clip you can find that tariffs don't increase inflation, any economist will tell you it increases inflation. So what now? March Madness. It's March Madness today. You know, the start of the tournament happens, and Steve Kress is out there with 10 buy the dip deals. Okay, 10 of them. A lot of these are the top Seeking Alpha 2025 picks, including OPFI, which I told you about. But he's got two other ones. He's got Amazon, which I've been saying buy under 200, and it's at 195. I don't know that this one's not going lower. This one could get back down to that 188, but we saw that. Now the algorithm has you in at 199. If you don't have a large enough position in Amazon, start adding to it. I don't know if it's going to go lower. That MACD is super low. The last time the MACD was down here was August of 2024. Remember, that was August 5th of 2024. And the algorithm got you in at 168. You've done well. If you trimmed at 240 and you were a genius, like some people out there are geniuses, some of the grifters out there who say, oh my God, I timed this one perfect. I sold this at 240. Now, I timed Apple perfectly, but it's very few and far between. So that's one of them that he puts in there. Another one that he puts in there that I've been telling you is Netflix. And I believe Netflix, I tried doing the what are these, Fibonacci's? I tried doing Fibonacci's. I do think that this one gets back over 1,000 to 950. So the algorithm had you in at 896. When the MACD was down there, when the RSI was super oversold. And we look at a weekly on this one, it's still a little bit stretched. But I do believe that their continued margin improvement, where they're spending less, they're spending more on programming, but they're actually making more money off of their customers. So the percentage that they're actually spending on programming comes down. Those are two. So read this article, go and get it. There's a lot in here. AppLovin, Netflix, Amazon, Eat, OPFI, all of them. I think they're all buy the dip. That's on my list. I am going to buy these 10, or I own them. One of the other, but all 10 of them are on my list. So now let's talk about what happens with the S&P. Well, there's two scenarios that Trendspider comes out with, okay? Choose your fighter. One, we reclaim the 200-day. This is a daily on SPY. We can go over here and we'll just look at SPY on a daily because that's what a lot of people look at, SPY on a daily. So the first one, you reclaim the 200-day. Where's the 200-day? Right at 573. Where are you trading right now on SPY? You're trading at 563. So you'd have 10 points up, but your 50 days moving down. Your 9 days just starting to turn around. Your 21 days still moving down. Your Bollinger Bands are wide open. They may need to cinch up like they did here. This cinch up on the Bollinger Bands, those shaded blue area, it was indicating I would have guessed up. I would have guessed wrong. And it just went down. When Bollinger Bands cinch up and they contract, that's when a move is about to happen. And it could be up or down. And it's a guess. And you use your other indicators, meaning the RSI was at 58. The MACD was just over the oscillator. There was a lot of mixed signals in the market. But the second you got these candles under the 9-day, it was clear we lost confirmation. So that's the first scenario. The second scenario is reject off the 200-day and the bear flag setup is confirmed, meaning that you just continue to go down with higher lows. I'm sorry, lower highs and lower lows. So where are you going? Choose your fighter. Again, choose your fighter. And today being NVIDIA Quantum Day, yesterday we saw a huge semiconductor rally, including my favorite, Broadcom, which was up 3.6%. I like Broadcom. Choose your fighter in this battle. I have three. I have Broadcom, I own NVIDIA, and I own Credo. Those are the three chip stocks that I own. Okay, and you're seeing this one set up nicely at that 184. You know, you're trading at 190, let's see, 193 in pre-market. The 200-day, probably going to provide some resistance until you get up there. We could have a death cross on the 4-hour. The daily, you're using the 200-day as your support. And the MACD, super low. RSI at 46. If I had to guess where this one's going, let's go to the weekly. It's still extended. Nothing's giving you a ton of indication here. But on a weekly chart, if you've bought when it got near the 50-day, you've been rewarded. I don't know where this one is going. I am buy and hold. We are in March. I very well may start to sell some of these, the original purchase at $200 because that's where it seems to be sitting. And if we are going to see April 2nd, a huge sell-off, guess what's going to get hit? Some of these where the MACD is super high, where the RSI isn't in oversold territory. So pick your chip battle, whichever one you want. AMD, I hate. Marvell, 2.2%. It was up yesterday. NVIDIA climbed 1.8%. This particular one, let's see. Citi Research noted that Texas Instruments is their top pick with the best risk ratio reward. That's TXN is this symbol right here. It's a hold in the quant. What does Wall Street think it's worth? $204. That's 12% upside. We can see it's been a hold for a while in the quant, so maybe that's not giving you, but their profitability is an A. Let's go look at some of the fundamentals. Okay, you're in the middle of your 52-week range. Let's go look at the chart. TXN. Remember, use the tools that you have. Use the charts, use everything. 4-hour algorithm doesn't work on this one at all. Minus 3.2%, you make 4.9% buying and holding. You only win 31% of the time. I'm going to go over how to use Seeking Alpha later to find a stock and then find a strategy. I built a strategy for it, not for this particular stock, but I went down my strategies in Trendspider and I found one, and it's working on a 1-hour candle if you want to trade it. And it just so happens to have an entry today. So I'm going to go over that. But Texas Instruments, for me, probably not a great one. I mean, you know, yes, it's down there, but I don't know enough about this company. I don't like some of the fundamentals. Wall Street may think it's worth it. For me, no. I'd rather own the three that I said. NVIDIA, which is the leader in AI. I mean, we're seeing that. I'll go into robotics next. And then you're seeing, AVGO. That is the custom chip. That's Apple. That's Google. They're making those. Amazon, I believe. And then Credo, which Amazon uses to make their chips. So I like those three. I don't like Texas Instruments. Now, I brought up yesterday, commodity roundup. Copper prices tops 10,000. You know what was up yesterday? Boyle. Boyle was up 10%. Still doesn't have you in the algorithm. MACD completely reset. Just got you out of a 46% gain. A 46% gain. You could have bought any time that these candles have confirmation and you would have made money. Lost confirmation here, but it regained it quickly. It kept you in here. Is it getting ready for another run? Remember, this is a decaying asset, but it's so far under that 200-day that I think you could see a move in this one. Natural gas has been beaten down. Commodity roundup. I brought up gold. This one's bringing up copper. Find commodities that you like, and if you like trading, go and trade them. If you don't, I would not suggest buy and hold Boyle on natural gas. It's a triple leveraged ETF. It decays in value. But you can trade these things. As you find them, you can trade them. Find leveraged ETFs. Now, during pullbacks, let's talk about this one. You know what? Let's go into Boeing first. Before we go into that, let's look at Boeing. Because Boeing had a very nice day yesterday, and it looks like it's bouncing up. Now, just to give you an example, the 4-hour algorithm over the last 24 months makes you 14.7%. Okay, buying and holding Boeing loses you 14.4%. So you are literally a 28-point swing there, where you're doing better by just buying the 4-hour algorithm rather than buy and hold. And you can see you had a nice 19% gain there. You had a nice 1% gain there before you just, again, If you want to protect yourself, there are strategies to protect you from the downside. This is one of them. And it got you in at 159. You're at 172. Boeing is on a rebound. Take a look at a weekly. Okay, we're still trending down on this, but the 50-day has just crossed under. You got a gap above. Now, let's see some of the fundamentals on Boeing. Some of the fundamentals on Boeing, they're tough. The valuation, but you've got a new CEO. What does Wall Street think that the Boeing's worth? It's worth 196. Well, the person that I trust 100% is Stephanie Link. And she thinks Boeing is her best bet for this year. And so year to date on this one, let's see, year to date on this one, it's down 2.4%. She thinks it's going to bounce back up. Air India is said to be weighing major order for wide-body planes. That's today. I like Boeing. Boeing was in the core portfolio. I took it out. The reason I took it out, it has been a dog. And the CEO they can't find a good leader. And so good company with good products, with good profits and good management. If you don't have good management, you get dinged. That's why Target is out of the core portfolio. That's why Boeing is out of the core portfolio. Again, this particular one, I think this is good. I think their new leader is good. So if you want to bet on it, again, look at that long trend line from 2020. That's a weekly. We're supporting it. It may start to go up. This is a $400 stock, pre-COVID. $341 pre-COVID with a huge dividend. Now, I talk about the 200-day a lot. This is a scan of the 200-day. During pullbacks, okay, it's important to focus on technicals. These stocks acting right at their 200-day, the scan finds stocks that recently bounced off or reclaimed their 200-day SMA and are now trading above it. Okay, import this into your system. We're going to say login and import, and then here it's going to tell us, let's see. This is, we're going to look for 200-day. What's the name of it? The name of this one is, we're going to subscribe. I have to hit subscribe. Then it's going to come up, and we're going to click here to open it. We're going to scan for this. D, which is Dominion Energy. This is Uber, okay, which I love, Uber. It's down 0.7% at 72. BAX, Baxter International, just gained it. Golden cross right there. Booking Holdings, just crossed under it. Looks like it's going to reclaim it. And again, this is on a daily chart. So if you go and look at it daily, that's where it's really looking. But I like to use my 4-hour algorithm to look at this. Okay, Corning, which I picked as this year's one of this year's big winners. I like this one. Insight Corporation. Intel is one that just reclaimed it. PEG, which is Public Service Enterprise Group. There's a lot of names on this list. Goldman Sachs I saw, which is in the core portfolio. Citibank, which I think is one of the banks that comes back strong. This one, if you look at the daily, it just claimed it. And you have an entry here at 68 and it's trading at 70. I think financials come bouncing back. We haven't seen the deregulation that was talked about. We haven't seen all that. So again, when you import this strategy, it's nice and easy to do in Trendspider. I will include this in the newsletter if you don't have the link. It's a great scan for you to look at. Okay? Now, another stock. You want to know who's the best salesperson for Dell? Can you hear that? That's Jensen Huang saying buy Dell. That's Jensen Huang saying buy Dell. Let's go and look at Dell. Dell's one that I own at 113. I think my average purchase price is like 112. It's trading at 98. I need to add more at 95 because the algorithm just got you in. The algorithm makes you 113%. You win 65% of the time, so it makes sense. I haven't been trading this one because I own it in my brokerage account. I want long-term buy and hold. And so I need the long-term buy and hold in order to buy more. I'm going to buy more. The trend is not my friend on this one right now. But AI is a big winner. And you have Jensen Huang, who's the NVIDIA leader, saying buy Dell, buy Dell. I like it. It's in the core portfolio. This is a stock that I've added in the core portfolio. I think this is a good one. I like it. I'm on that bandwagon with Jensen Huang. Bye, Dale. Now, NVIDIA, this is the entrance into robotics. If I'm going to mute this one because I don't know if there's music or anything, but this is a robot putting together a car. This is from Boston Dynamics. Look at this. I mean, this is a robot literally walking over and putting parts in a car. And this is what, by the way, what Tesla has been done as well with their humanoid robot. This is the beginning of robotics. And NVIDIA is one of them that you can do. Now, I do believe NVIDIA in the spotlight is Morgan Stanley, more positive average GTC. I believe they raised their price target to 160, or they held their price target at 160. Go and read the article if you want. They're more positive on it. Okay, here's my take on NVIDIA. NVIDIA, until it can get over 140, it's a 140 stock. So when you get to 130, you start to sell it. Are you buying at 117? Well, at 116, the algorithm got you in. These are big days, which should have pushed this stock significantly higher. Something is happening where it's not. I think it got too big for its britches, but you can see we're clearly just in a range here since June of last year, while the MACD reset, while the RSI reset on a weekly. And that's exactly what happened here in 2023. So as Blackwell starts to roll out and they start to make more, get more revenues from it, I think you flip that 140 from resistance to support. But until that time, I'm going to start trimming when this gets into the 130s. Now, my average purchase price, I think, is like $30. Because if you don't remember, during this time period right here, I think it was it was this time period. I was saying buy between $250 and $300. Now, there was a 10-for-1 split in between here. That's why it's $30. But I was loading up between $250 and $300 because there was a huge gap there. And I was rewarded. Now, I've sold some at 140 as it got to that 140. I've been trimming between 130 and 140, but I still have a significant position in this stock. And that's my plan. Strategies matter. So make sure you have a strategy for stocks that you have. I do. I don't always voice them on here because I want you to figure out your own strategy. So, crypto. Let's talk about this because this is an article tracking Trump's Bitcoin promises. He's delivered on 5 of 8 pre-election promises. The additional 3 are going to take significantly more time. Will it pop? This is an article saying, hey, you should be buying Bitcoin. The bottom line is buy Bitcoin. I buy IBIT. Again, a strategy. I am buy and hold on IBIT. And the way I use my 4-hour algorithm is when it tells me to get in, I get in. Right now, IBIT is trading at 48.51. Told me to get in at 48, got in at 48. Am I loading up on this? No. 4-hour algorithm makes you 14% versus buy and hold makes you 72%. Remember, this has only been out for 14 months. So I don't know if the 4-hour algorithm actually works on this one. So far, it hasn't. It wins 38% of the time. But I believe in Bitcoin as a buy and hold. I have learned my lesson. I've traded this one. I've gotten it wrong. It's like Tesla. I just got it wrong. Now, one thing that I want to show you. We're going to go over here. We're going to go over to Seeking Alpha because I'm an affiliate for all of these things. And what I did on live was I said, you know what? This top stop, KINS, this isn't in my wheelhouse. But during the days when I was trading, during the days when I didn't do this podcast, because I am burned out after an hour, 2 hours of doing this podcast and then 2 hours of actually editing and putting together a newsletter, I am burned out. Last thing I want to do is and look at charts and trade. But here's what I would do, and I said this, KINS, go over to the top stocks, okay? You can screen this. You can use the screen. This isn't my wheelhouse, but it's the number one. We've seen how PSIX and other number ones have really been rewarded, and even KINS. This one's up 1.65. In a down market, this one's up. Okay, over 1 year, you're up 294. Now, this isn't in my wheelhouse. Like I said, it's a financial, first off. Second off, it's got a market cap of $212 million. Do I care about a $212 million company? No. But fundamentals are good. Growth is good. Profitability good. Momentum's good. Revisions are good. Even though there's only one analyst that covers this one, and they think it's worth $18, which is a 16% upside. But again, you take a look at this. Even the Seeking Alpha analysts have it as a buy. So what I did was, I said, you know what? Let's go look at the chart. And let's look at the 4-hour algorithm, because typically that's what I want to see. Not Kim. KINS. I want to see the 4-hour algorithm. Now, this one, when it got from a buy to a strong buy in the Seeking Alpha Quant, look at that, a 70% run that it had. 70%. 4-hour algorithm made you 69%. But you look at it over 2 years, okay? It makes 228%. Versus 949%. It's not bad. It wins 47% of the time, 32 positions, but over 2 years, I don't want 32 positions. I want more closer to 24. So again, it's not in my huge wheelhouse, and that big win is going to skew the results for that average win of 20%. It's going to skew it, and I don't like how it's been trading sideways on this one. I look at a weekly, and I say, you know what? It's just been sideways. You know, the volume profile is great. People are buying up here. But again, with a $200 million, you're going to have problems filling this one. So I maybe want to look at something that's a little bit better. And so I took remember a few weeks ago, we had a stock battle and I picked MicroStrategy. Well, I went down all of my strategies in Trendspider, which I have quite a bit. I've imported them from Trendspider. I've used them myself. Strategies are algorithms, okay? This one on the stock battle, look at that performance. This is 62 days. 62 days. During the time when the market has been down, you've made 14.8%. You win 60% of the time. There are 11 positions. So you win 6 times out of 11. Your average win, 3.91. That's not bad in a down market with a stock that's good. Now, here's the thing. Look, MACD is reset. Going to get a cross up. And you've got an entry at 1543. You're trading at 1529. 1529 puts you right on the 9-day. Might be a good buy. Again, this is one, and they reminded me, you know, some of the guys on YouTube told me, that POWL, which is a great stock, which is an alpha pick. This one on this 1-hour strategy makes you 28% over the last 62 days. 13 positions. You win 62% of the time. Just got you out of an 11% gain. You bought at 1330, which is what? 230? No, that's 130. I'm sorry, 130. On let's see, March 13th, and then on March 18th, so you held it over the weekend, you get out with an 11% gain. This one wins 62% of the time. Your average win 4.75, again over 62 days. It's on a 1-hour time frame. So it's not going to, you know, not every stock is going to make you 50% on a 1-hour time frame. Or are some with huge volatility. But this is a bonus one for you guys. I'm going to include this strategy in my newsletter. Now, you might say, well, I don't have Trendspider. Well, if you don't, go and try it out. $19, $20 for a 2-week trial. Okay? Maybe you use PAL. And they said Hood does well as well. Hood makes you 35% on this 1 hour versus a minus 7% over the last 62 days. Just got you in at 39. Where are you trading right now? 42. You had a gap fill, a nice gap fill up to 43. So if you don't have Trendspider, go and try it out. Standard, import this stock battle 1-hour strategy so you can use it on stocks and try it out. Again, for a 2-week strategy, a 4-hour algorithm, a daily algorithm, a weekly algorithm, it's not going to make sense for you. But if you want to see how this works, then and if you'll use it, go and try it out for $19 freaking dollars. Okay? Now, how did I find KINS? Well, you use Seeking Alpha, and there's 2 ways to get Seeking Alpha, okay? The first one is in this bundle. Alpha Picks is a curated, data-driven portfolio of stocks where you buy on the 1st and the 15th of each month. They give you a new pick every month, 2 every month, and you buy it. The key is they tell you when to sell. And the actual performance is fantastic, 134% versus 50% on the S&P. So that's what that is. And you can get in the bundle and save $159 off your yearly subscription. All of this is on Linktree, linktr.ee. Now, Seeking Alpha Premium comes on its own. So if you just want to look at this list of top stocks and top ETFs, get a free 7-day trial. And you can go over to Linktree, and it's the 4th link down there. Premium exclusive trial. If you just want the Alpha Picks portfolio and you just want somebody who's going to beat the S&P, who traditionally, I should say, has beaten the S&P, then that's the 5th link down there. And I tell you, get Robinhood, get Webull. Robinhood, I haven't been impressed with. Honest to God, I will tell you, if you don't have a brokerage firm like Fidelity or Schwab, you don't know what you're missing. Robinhood does not have it for me. You know, I can't pick up the phone. I needed to wire $50,000 for a real estate transaction the other day. And does Robinhood have somebody that can pick up the phone and say, hey, I don't know this name on this account. Should I put the lawyer's name or should I put the owner's name? I didn't know. I was able to pick up the phone and they were able to tell me. And then I picked up the phone and I conferenced in the lawyers and they were able to talk to each other. Do you get that with Robinhood? No. But again, that's the difference between a brokerage and a trading platform. I do have $500 in Robinhood. I do have $9,000, $10,000 in Webull, but it's not my main platform. And so there's a big difference there. But I will tell you, it's kind of cool to have these little apps. I like Webull way more than Robinhood to me. But again, those are the tools that I have. That's how I use them. So if you have any questions, hit me up. My email is up here. It's all on Linktree. And again, you know, somebody asked me yesterday in email, do you really use this? Yes. Yes. I use this stuff to manage my portfolio. And I would, even Chris on YouTube just said it. I said, Chris, you know, say they took away Trendspider. He said, hell no. There's no way. And Chris is a paying customer. I was a paying customer. And I tell Dan, the CEO of Trendspider, if he gets rid of my affiliate free program, because I do get this service for free, but I was a paying customer before I had this free service. And I will always be a paying customer for life. It's that good. Seeking Alpha, same thing. I was a paying customer before I became an affiliate. And I liked it so much. Alpha Picks, I spent 8 months just, you know, they would send out a pick on the 1st and the 15th. And I said, hey, you know, I'm going to cherry pick this one. Sprouts Farmers Market is a perfect example. And I think I have it marked on a weekly. Let me see. On a weekly candle here. I think I've marked where they picked it. No, maybe I don't. But I believe it was like March or April of last year. They picked it. I shop at Sprouts. I said, yeah, you know, $63. I looked at it. It had a good valuation. The growth was good. I said I didn't want to buy it. You know where I wound up buying it? In August. And in, October, when it was 113. I bought it again in November when it was 120. I paid double because I didn't want to trust Alpha Picks. It's a great example. It's just, and it's one of hundreds that I've had where I didn't get it, not hundreds, but probably tens, where I didn't buy it because I just didn't believe in it. And Alpha Picks was right. Powell Electric is another one. Modine Manufacturing is another one. SMCI I got into, and I was into even while Alpha Picks was picking it. They do a really good job. So again, these tools are out there. They're there for you. If you have any questions, everything's on Linktree. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter because everything I discuss, all of the notes, they are down here we're going to stop that from playing. But it's down here at the bottom. There is a pod notes section. And so everything that I talked about yesterday is in this. Everything that I talk about today, all the links, it's like, for all you boomers, it's Cliff Notes. This is how you use it. You'll go and look at the charts that I post. This is why I spend hours after this podcast recording it, throwing this in there so that you can use these tools and you can see exactly what I talk about. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you, bye. Okay, let me just throw this into iMovie. Guiding me through my hopes and fears. Oh, there's a song that I can sing to Maya at night that sticks in my head. It's there were two songs. Like, she asked me to sing a song to her last night. Oh, hold on. Let me see. We're gonna colorize this. And
Good morning. It is Thursday, March 20th, the day after.
there we go. I cut my lawn yesterday. That was good. Let's see. We're going to throw those in. Then we're going to throw this in. Green screen. Copy. Paste. Paste. Boom. And then I got to do a Canva thing. So I'm probably going to stay on here for about 5 minutes more. 320 pod. Boom. Now let's look at the comments. Wah, wah. I don't think 6% gold is bad, Scott, to be honest with you. I think it's pretty good. I worry about when are you going to change that to more equities? So, but 6% isn't bad at all. I don't think it's bad. HWM. What is HWM? Helmet Aerospace. 53 billion dollars. Pretty good. The valuation's the only thing that's extended. Well, it's not bad. I mean, 139. The problem that you have with that one, see that slider right there? You're buying at 131 when the 52 week is at 140. I think there's a lot of other stocks that have been beaten down more. You know, those top 10 that Steve talked about, Amazon, maybe it's just my thing, but Kathy Woods, I listened to Kathy Woods. What is going in and out here? Did you go see Gracie?
No, not yet.
Okay. Quan has a strong sell. I think Quan has added this one as a strong sell for a while. Tesla, Roku, Coinbase, Roblox, Palantir, CRISPR, Shopify, Tempest, Robinhood. Wow, Tempest is 4%. Robinhood, Twist. Huh. And Tom Lee is GRNY, I think. Yeah. Fund Strat, GRNY. Not covered by the quant. The holdings Progressive Corp, which is good. Palo Alto Networks, I like. Bank of New York Mellon. How is Progressive and Bank of New York granny shots? He's got 3% just in the S&P. Abbott Labs, or maybe that's not SPY. SPGI. Yeah, I think that's the S&P. Yeah, it's financial exchange. It's kind of like investing in the NASDAQ. Fucker has AMD, Caterpillar, NVIDIA, Microsoft. Yeah, I mean, and you look at the performance, it hasn't done well at all. I like Apple. So, Larry, here, Apple. So, I like Apple at these levels. What I don't know is if Apple, you know, I pointed out this weekly trend, this weekly kind of range here for Apple between 200 and 250, 260. And I think that's the range that you trade. If you're okay with it going under 200, I don't think 214 is a bad price, to be honest with you. I think it's extended, but I think they manipulate. If you look at last year, okay, last year at this time, here is, we're going to just highlight last year, January to April. I mean, that's last year. That's last year. So it looks very similar to this year where you have, let's just highlight January to April here to March. I mean, that looks damn similar. Setting up a nice base there. And remember, last year, you know, Apple was told, well, they've fallen behind AI. They haven't gotten AI. And then WWDC comes out and they announce Apple Intelligence and they promise the world. And this year it's, they promised the world and they haven't delivered and they're resetting. But are they? You know, rumor has it that WWDC, you're going to get, your AirPods are going to get real-time language translation. That's pretty cool. So, but yeah. Okay. I'm going to go. I'm going to put you on a countdown out. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm here. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys. Let me see. Let me check my portfolio. I bet my portfolio, Apple is down, so there's no way my portfolio is up. I'm still like, what, 40, 50% Apple? I'm down. I lost everything that I made yesterday. I'm down 0.48%. Apple's down 0.77. So, I mean, that makes sense. So, okay. I'm out. But yeah, Larry, I think that Apple for me, remember, I am biased and I'm going to talk my own book. I'm not adding to Apple because I've got tens of thousands of shares, but this to me feels very much like last year. And it is expensive. Just understand you're buying it very expensive. If we go and look at this one, and we're going to select metrics, and we're going to look at valuation, and we're going to look at, I'm going to look at two, price to sales and PE. And I'm going to take out price return. And we're going to look at, this is what it is. An Apple with the PE and price to sales, it's still expensive. But it's where it was in 2023, and the price went up. You know, you expand. You don't have the growth that you had in Apple. But it's not like these things have gone out of whack. Price to sales and PE have kind of stayed in there. If we get rid of the price to sales. Oh, select metrics. Let's get rid of the price to sales and just look at PE. This is the PE. I mean, it's expensive, but historically, that's not super expensive. So again, I don't think that Apple's a horrible one. You just have to realize their growth sucks, but they make so much money. Now, tariffs, It's also the number one target. So if he puts tariffs on China, guess where they're coming for? They're coming for the iPhone. So you've got risk in that one too. But over 1 year, you're up 20%. You know, year to date, you're down 14%. So shorter term, it just looks like, 6 months, you're down 6%, 1 month down 12%, 5 days, you're up 0.42. So, your momentum sucks. Your momentum down 13%, 6 month down 5%, 9 month down 4%. But 1 year, you're up 22%. I continue to think that this is a buying opportunity, but again, with tens of thousands of shares, I'm just not buying. So I'm not looking to sell either. This chart is very, very clear to me. You sell it when it's up near the top. 240 to 250, you start selling. 220 to 200, you start buying. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I'm out. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.